Okay, hi everybody, it's me, Bonkai22. Sorry about the lack of first impressions. You know how work is. Anyway, this is the last one, except for these other three I have to do. Well, the other three I might do maybe on Monday, possibly. We'll see. But now we get to this one. Now, I did a few. I didn't do a lot of the first impressions. I did, as far as I remember, I believe it was two I did. Let me just make sure I'm right on that. I believe it was two. Um, Let me just make sure I'm right, because I think when I did only two of them, and those were it. Um, so let me just make sure I am right on that. Let's see. One. No, it was three. It was three. So the three I've done, as we know, has been Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic, um, Unwanted Undead Sorcerer, and Metallic Rouge. Now, this show, Tales of Wedding Rings. Okay. This to me, I'm not saying it's like Lord of the Rings, but you have this guy that the Ring King has to fight, and he's got a ring. Eh. Aside from all that, I, in good conscience, cannot give this anime a very high rating. Let me read you the premise. So, Sato has been in love with his childhood friend and neighbor Hime ever since she and her grandfather appeared out of nowhere 10 years ago. Now a dazzling yet mysterious high school beauty, she makes it more and more difficult for him to confess his feelings. As the anniversary of their first meeting is nearing, will he muster up his courage to transform their friendship into something more, or will an entirely different fate await this tightly bonded pair? This show is weird. I mean, when I see wedding rings, the first thing that comes, I always shouldn't, but the first thing that comes to my mind is Lord of the Rings. It's like, what? There's even a guy here in the show who you might as well call him. I don't want to call him Sauron, but I mean, come on. Pushing that all to a side, this show, as I said, I cannot give a high rating. At most, 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. Now, I'm still gonna watch it because of, well, there's a lot of fan service in this. Now, I will give this show one thing. I give it a 6.5 out of 10. But fan service, a 7 out of 10. A little half. Because unlike other freaking risque, etchy horror animes, at least these people have the kindness to say it's mature, and they actually show, well, the bits. Basically what happens in this show is as it says. This guy Sato gets involved with this girl Hime, and he literally, I'm not joking around here, he has to go to four other, because he gets Hime first, countries to get wedding rings. And each ring corresponds to an element. Hime, which I think her name is Crystal, is light. Then there's an elf. Hers is wind. I'm not going to say all of them because I'm spoiling, but really. And then there's another one he eventually meets, which is like the episode I'm currently on, which corresponds to fire. and I think the other two are water or something like that. It's a lot of fan service. And to be perfectly honest, it's an interesting concept. It is. No. It still gets a 6.5 out of 10 for me. And I don't think I'm going to make it any higher. Because it just feels like there isn't really anything outside the fan service. There really isn't anything there. It's like your typical adventure story. Gotta collect the rings. Gotta collect. That's what it is. And basically has these 5 wives that he has now. Like, come on. But I still watch it because it's, yeah. But when comparing it to the other shows that I'm reviewing, especially the last 2 fantasy animes I reviewed as a first impressions, it is so lackluster. It's not even funny. Especially when you compare it to, using healing magic wrong and Undead Unwanted Sorcerer. Adventurer. Those two blow this show out the water. I'm sorry, this show just can't compete. I think that it would have been better if the animation might have been a little bit better, and if there was a little bit more emphasis, on the enemies that this guy Sato is fighting. I don't. If this show does not get any better, I'm not going to even bother with a full review of the episodes because I just don't feel like it's necessary. This is at least a 6.5 out of 10. It's mid, and not even a good mid. It's just like it's fan service. That's what it is. I mean, and the thing is that this threat of this other ring bearer that he has to fight, it doesn't really. So far, he's only made his appearance in it has only really come to a head in 1 or 2 episodes, and then the rest is just him going to find more rings. Yay, more wives. Huh? When you value an isekai or a regular fantasy anime, it has to have something that puts it ahead of the others. Unwanted Undead Adventurer. That's a big one. The way it's paced, the way it's animated, it really shows how much care and commitment was put into it. Even using healing magic wrong. That one, it has its little tidbits here and there, but as far as comparing it to this show, it excels tremendously. Because the thing is, this show has a crutch, and the crutch is fan service. Though I will say the Fire Princess, whoo, she definitely gives me some Yoruichi vibes, if you know what I mean. But, least to say, 6.5. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong. There might be some people who thought this show was better than that. But I think even if you include the fan service, even if you include all that stuff in this show, it is at least a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6.5 out of 10. Because I'm pretty sure even people will review it lower than that, which is not surprising. Like a 4 or 3. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because, it is interesting to look at. Episode 5, I think, is at least... If you stick around for episode 5, you can at least say, yeah, this is an interesting point, But I think overall, at least 6 anything from a 6 to lower is how you describe this anime so far. I'm not regretting doing a first impressions on it because it's just like it's just fan service, really. I mean, we do get when he was fighting, earlier on in the episodes, like 4 and 3, there was a conflict with the elf, the one who has the ring of wind, but unless there's some like real conflict going on here, But I do think like later on I will get more interested in the show, but not rated higher, because I think the next princess has to do with dragons. I don't know. Sorry, this isn't a big time, in depth thing about this show, but the way I see it is this is just fan service. But I give it the benefit of the doubt because they're not doing what other shows do and just they show you it full in. It's rated M for mature. Oh, that means we're going to see. Okay, that's great. But overall, as far as story is concerned, as far as characters are concerned, yeah, no. 6.5. This is Bakai 922. I'll see you guys later. Let's now do Marshall. We're gonna get real deep into this show now. It's gonna be Marshall's gonna go up against that guy in this round. Hopefully he can battle through. We'll see. I have a funny feeling with that show. I think that's gonna get interrupted. I don't think that fight's gonna go through. I got a funny feeling. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.